All right, so huge news out of Manhattan Beach, California yesterday, November 13th, 2023, as the AVP announces in a press release to the world the creation of a U.S. Pro Beach Volleyball League. So we're here to talk about it. What I want to do here at Bet the Beach is be a place where you can go to get information, a place where you can go to talk, a place where we can all kind of collaborate in thought. And I think one of the conversations about beach volleyball, particularly domestically, has been the strength of the domestic league and the profitability, because it's not going to exist if it can't make money. And it's an organization that, through its storied history, 70s and 80s and into the 90s, was a very lucrative vehicle for not only its owners but its players, and I think it's been that way, and I think that's part of the reason why it's a big conversation amongst players and fans of the sport today. It's what happened and how do we get back there. So just yesterday afternoon, November 13th, the AVP puts out a press release. Volleyball Mag is the first to pick it up. Volleyball Mag staff posted it yesterday evening. I noticed it for the first time. The headline: Big AVP happenings. 8th City League starts in 2024, plus new tour format. The AVP is making a major addition in 2024. A lot of the details are obviously still to come, but the Domestic Pro Beach Volleyball Tour announced Monday that the AVP League, 8 teams in both genders, will begin in September. So the first thing you got to think there is September 24, post 2024 Beach Olympics. That has historically been the time that you want to bootstrap up the domestic league. Beach volleyball has been one of, if not the most watched Summer Olympic sport since its debut back in 1996 in Atlanta. And you've seen people try to take advantage of that. Every quad, it's, jumping off the quad, that's the time that you really want to take advantage of those eyeballs. So the timing is good. Just the act of trying something new as far as monetization, viewership, content creation in 2023, 2024, that should be commended. And I really do like seeing the AVP try things. 8 men's and 8 women's teams will play in head-to-head in a regular season that will run through November. And again, this is courtesy of volleyballmag.com, and as well as the press release that you're able to dig up here today on November 14th. So you're going to have 8 teams, each based in a home market. The markets: Los Angeles, San Diego, New York, Brooklyn, Miami, Palm Beach, Dallas, and Austin. And each will have 1 starting men's team and 1 starting women's team, as part of the rebranded Heritage series of tour events, which are going to take place in California, Southern California, Miami, and Chicago. Notably there, Bet the Beach loves the Chicago tournament. Looks like that's going to stay. Some question about the rest of the tour tournaments. Atlanta, not on that list. Atlanta's been a Gold Series stop here for a few years. So pretty interesting to see them potentially moving from Atlanta being their Southeast USA hub to Miami as part of their rebranded Heritage Series weekend tournaments that we've all come to love. Let's start there. It doesn't sound like we're going to lose the tournaments that we love. I mean, obviously they're not going to get rid of Manhattan Beach. Thankfully, they're not going to get rid of Chicago over Labor Day, and I imagine they're still going to have a couple other of tournaments throughout the summer, similar to how they've been doing it. They're not going to touch that model. I think that's great. I'm excited that that's going to stick around. The conversation has to continue around those tournaments and how we make those tournaments profitable, how we monetize those better, how we produce that product and present it to our fans in order to make the current existing fans happy, a good product, a good presentation, an inexpensive presentation, and one that helps us grow the game, making it available. I saw the guys on Sandcast last week answering a few of my questions for their fan segment, and I appreciate those guys, and shoots to you guys. YouTube not a viable distribution product because you can't monetize it via YouTube. Okay, I understand that. I think when you're trying to grow a game, I think you need to remove it from a paywall, because it's not a matter of will your diehards pay for it. They will. I know if you're watching this, you're a volleyball fan, you're paying for it. You're paying for ESPN Plus. You're paying for probably VBTV to get the international tournaments. I get that. No beef with that. I do think that good fans should pay for a product. However, I do think that the AVP is in a situation now where bringing new fans in is huge. Nowadays, where your audience is so segmented, where's the distribution platform that's getting the eyes? In my opinion, it's YouTube. I think you need to find another way to monetize via YouTube, via your own production, but another story for another day. We'll get there. Now, the league that we don't know very much about. Robert Corvino, the AVP's new chief operating officer, said about the league, quote, "The introduction of the AVP league is a transformational change for the sport of volleyball and the AVP, which has grown continually for 40 years. It builds on the best traditions of the past to create exciting new opportunities for players and fans in the future. The AVP identified an opportunity for evolution, and I'm excited that these changes will position beach volleyball in line with the other professional sports." April Ross said, "The goal is always to grow the sport to create more opportunities for athletes and ensure success for our domestic organization, and I know the AVP League will do just that." So I'll say this, April Ross has a little more confidence than I about the AVP's ability to pull this off. Am I hopeful? Am I excited to see them trying something new? I am, for sure. Like I said before, in 2023, 2024, especially when your position at the AVP is struggling to make money, struggling to get viewership, struggling to monetize a product, struggling to build a brand, I think it is important, critical, to try new things. And April Ross is excited about it, as am I. And I think will be a really exciting thing to see, come to fruition over the course of the next 12 months. Now, I gave some hesitation there, and it has to do with the AVP. We've been critical of the AVP, as I said. This announcement comes out yesterday, Monday, November 13th, mid-afternoon sometime. It pops up on Volleyball Mag. We find it there. I go to look for a second source, where it's coming from, the press release. Nothing. Can't find it yet. I go to AVP's website, because that's where you're going to find the link to the press release or, some news, big news, something like that. Nothing on their main page. I go to their Instagram. I go to Twitter. I go anywhere where I can think AVP would officially put out this message, and I don't find it anywhere. Now, 24 hours later here, they have added a small little link at the top of their website to this press release. Right off the bat, just execution. If you're going to make an announcement, let's make an announcement, maybe get a little more information together, maybe put it up on your website, maybe put it on your Instagram, maybe put it on your Twitter. Still not there as of this moment. A little bit of a challenging rollout, I'll say that. So the question remains about how the format works out. You have a draft, you draft players. Do you draft teams, individual players? How does that work out? You want a team that's going to work well together. What if Brooklyn drafts Andy Benish and Austin drafts Miles Partain? What happens there? The team that's, obviously going to play together in 2024 Olympics, I would imagine will have success. I will imagine want to continue that partnership. Looking forward to the next quad, especially with it being in Los Angeles in 2028. Even more so important for the U.S. men's teams to have that consistency, especially a young team like the two of them that are growing and learning. So how do they end up on the same team? Or don't they? How do you make sure you get a defender and a blocker on each team? How does that work out? Who's doing the drafting? What affiliation does the team have with the city? Do they play in the city? Are there home games? Are there away games? There's tons of questions left to be answered here. I am hopeful that the AVP can figure out a way to do this in a way that makes sense. I'm hopeful that the AVP can do this in a way that they can make it profitable. I'm hopeful that the AVP can do this in a way in which it will be a product that is viable and available and appealing. I will say that at the end of this past season, when the AVP and Bally's announced that they were not going to be holding their playoffs as they did in 2022, and they made a statement saying, I'll paraphrase here, they weren't able to secure a venue for the tournament. And the way I read that was we weren't willing to lose money on this tournament again here in 2023. I get that. They're a corporation. I have no criticisms of the corporation making responsible decisions economically. The AVP is a product that either needs to make money for them or they're going to move on from. So to see them make a move like this today is at least a sign that they're willing to try things, at least a sign that they're not imminently looking to sell, at least a sign that they're willing to help try to grow the sport so that they can benefit off of it, and we also as fans of the sport can benefit from the growth and the adaptation of the sport to a new media climate, to a new sports climate, to a new entertainment climate. So I am excited in a lot of ways about this announcement. I am, as usual, pretty concerned about the AVP's ability to execute this league. We're going to see how this plays out. I hope you stick with us for continued coverage of what this is. I'll say this right now. Northeast-based Bet the Beach is buying stock high in Team Brooklyn, as it's the closest to us, only about 3.5 hours away by car on a Sunday morning with no traffic. So Bet the Beach here is going to be the first to say we're heavy on Team Brooklyn. We're going to be betting them hard, putting a future in as soon as we can on Brooklyn to win the first AVP Pro League playoffs coming up here in just about 12 months from now, November 2024. So look for that. Look for Bet the Beach to be betting Brooklyn hard all year. Hopefully we can get some good players on our squad. I would hate to see them lose some of the tournaments that they've begun to lean on, in Austin and New Orleans. I think those can be great tournaments, and I think it'd be a disappointment to see some of those go away. But I do think that change can be a good thing. I do think that change is really a necessary thing in this day and age in order to not only keep and retain, viewers and fans, but to grow. And I think growth is the most important thing. And the way you grow is you appeal to the casuals, and the way you grow is to make your product available for the casuals. And I think this might be a good step in that direction. I just really hope the AVP can pull it off. So we'll keep our eye on that and stay tuned. And thank you for being a fan of Bet the Beach. We appreciate you.